Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to World War II In Depth. In today's episode, you get a 2-for-1 because I'm going to be reviewing the P-08 and the 9mm SAP pistol, the 9mm SAP being the one that you get for free if you prestige your Resistance Division, but there's a lot of overlap between these two. They fill roughly the same role, and I thought it would be best if I review them together. Let's start off with the damage on the P-08. We're going to go over all of the hard-coded P-08 stats first, and then talk about some hand testing with the 9mm SAP later. The damage on the P-08 is 40 up close, and then it'll decrease down to 22 at a distance, so sort of a big jump right there, making it 3 or 5 shots to kill depending on how far away the enemy is. And you know, that's not bad for a pistol. It's not good, it's not amazing, especially when you have to compare it to the monster that is the M1911, but being a 3-shot kill weapon is not bad at all. Headshot damage, unfortunately, is a little bit low at 1.1x, which means that headshots are useless unless you're running high caliber. If you happen to be running high caliber, it'll kill in 2 headshots, or if you get 1 body shot and 1 headshot, the 2-shot range is, well, it's quite shocking. I saw a video on Nero Cinema about it. He was testing it out. So high caliber is a valid choice for these pistols, though I do believe that there are more valuable choices. And let's talk about range, because one of the things that really makes the P-08 tick is its incredibly long range, and the 3-shot kill range on this weapon is 19 meters. To put 19 meters in context, that is all the way across the B-bomb site on USS Texas. It is much longer than the Grease Gun's 3-shot kill range. It's double or triple most shotgun ranges, and it has a longer 3-shot kill range than the Bar assault rifle. Yes, I said that correct. The P-08 pistol has a longer 3-shot kill range than the Bar, which is just shocking, which means the P-08 should be a 3-shot kill at every single SANE pistol range. Maybe if somebody's like all the way across the map and they're behind cover and you're shooting them through walls or something like that, it'll be a 4-shot. Maybe if they're so far away you almost can't see them on this pistol's iron sights, it'll be a 4 or 5-shot kill. But realistically, at any range at which this pistol makes sense, it's going to be a 3-shot kill, and that level of consistency makes it such a good weapon. Rate of fire, unfortunately, is a bit slower than you think at 425 rounds per minute. That one definitely could be better. It's sort of this awkward zone where it's not so slow that you know it's slow, but most people can pull their trigger fingers at about 500 to 600 rounds per minute with very little effort, so you're right just under the resampling range, and sometimes it'll feel a little bit slower than you can pull the trigger finger, but if you slow down just a little bit, I think it will help you guys a lot. This weapon does, however, have a secret power that I didn't discover, but Clayster did and showed it off live in a tournament. But before we get to that, I've got something cool I want to share with you. Starting this Friday night, I'm going to be hosting game nights with all of you. It's going to be sort of open lobbies returning just like during the old Black Ops 2 days, and it's sponsored by Discord. We're going to be setting up the open lobbies, and we're going to be doing comms and communications and everything through the Discord app, which you can join by the link on the screen right there, discord.gg/drifter, with the O being a 0, of course, and it's the first link down there in the description. It's not just going to be for Call of Duty, it's going to be for a big variety of games, and we'll be doing this weekly, every Friday night, as far as maybe Saturday night if we have to shift plans around a little bit. So yeah, we'll be doing this 4 times a month, or roughly every weekend, depending on how the calendar dates line up, and I thought I'd give you the link earlier so that you can join, install the app, get used to it, and go ahead and get ready for Friday, because I'll be dragging people in like crazy. So let's talk about what's secret on the P-08. The time to kill is a little bit slower than the other pistols, but it's still not bad. A lot of people like to think that the pistols have the same time to kill. That's not true. This one underperforms until you run akimbo. Akimbo will greatly improve your time to kill, of course, because you're doubling the bullets, but what's secret is that the hipfire box has almost no kick, so it's super duper easy to control and spam. And by that, I'm not talking about the width or the spread of the box, but rather, as you've probably tried with the machine pistol or with the M1911s, when you shoot, the actual box itself kicks up and drags up in the screen, and you have to look down and fight it. Such is not true with the P-08. The P-08 hipfire box basically doesn't move at all, so you can break both of them out and spam super duper hard, super accurately, super easy to control, and put a lot of lead downstream for a 3-shot kill weapon, and it makes the gun super good. aim down sights time, sprint out time, the actual hipfire box size, and pretty much every single handling attribute will be good because, of course, it's a pistol. Super fast ADS, sprint out, all that. It just kind of makes sense. It'd be terrible if pistols had a slow aim down sights time. Magazine leaves quite a lot to be desired at 8. Extended mags is very beneficial at taking it up to 12. Reload time, 1.5 seconds. With Hustle, it's about 1 second, which is quite fast, but this is all what you would expect from a pistol. I will say that the iron sights are a bit obstructive. Some of the other variants, however, have much better iron sights. I hate how I believe it's the weapon's receiver. It's part of the mechanical part of the gun, like kicks up in your face. So if your first shot is off, especially at long range, it becomes much more difficult to reacquire targets, but you don't have to deal with that with some of the variants. And I think that the P-08 is a great troll weapon when you're running it akimbo. When you commit to hip firing with this weapon, even solo is fine, but when you go akimbo, it's just like next level crazy. And in general, it's good enough for any public match. There's a reason that pros don't run this gun because its semi-automatic nature is a little bit less reliable than the full auto spam of the machine pistol, but outside of competitive play, this is a very powerful weapon for public matches that a lot of people downplay, and I think that more of you should try it out. Go ahead and use it just a little bit, swap to it instead of reloading, and it'll get you through a lot of tough spots. So moving on to our second weapon today, let's talk about the 9mm SAP. It shares just about every single important stat with the P-08. It has roughly the same rate of fire, roughly the same amazing 3-shot kill range, roughly the same no akimbo hipfire box dynamics, same magazine size, same almost everything. I don't want to tell you they're exactly the same or clones, because that's not true. Even hand testing, there are some differences, but for all intents and purposes, this weapon will perform and handle and have roughly the same uses as the P-08. They're more or less like twins or bros, or just very similar to each other, so what one can do, the other one can more or less do. Except, I think that there is a big difference in iron sights and a slight but important difference with the recoil on the 9mm SAP. The P-08 iron sights, I think, are kind of dookie. The 9mm SAP iron sights, I think, are quite good. They have a much clearer foresight. The recoil is very vertical, and the recoil also aligns with the shape of the sight. And while the gun barrel does kick up a little bit, and it will obstruct targets at long range in a similar way, it will do so less than the P-08. And I think that makes it a much better long-range 3-shot kill pistol or precision pistol than the P-08. And in general, I find the recoil a little bit easier to control. I know they're extremely similar, but this is a subjective personal taste with mine. So instead of running this one akimbo, which is quite nice, let me assure you, I'm sure you've seen some good akimbo gameplay, I prefer to run a single P-08 with the tack knife from the Resistance Division. The tactical knife is a very, very fun tool for when people like to rush me with shotguns or submachine guns. I love getting double and triple kills with the tack knife and stabbing them. It's just bread and butter with the Resistance Division. It makes sense when I run this gun this way. It gives me up-close insta-death, it gives me good hip fire, and it gives me a surprising amount of long-range lethality with the good old 9mm SAP. The main thing to keep in mind at the end of this episode is that both of these guns are a lot stronger than they appear to be. Yeah, they don't 2-shot kill like the M1911, they don't spray all over the place like the machine pistol, they don't appear to be that great, but they've got fantastically long 3-shot kill ranges that outperform several of the assault rifles in this game. They're very accurate, they have no hipfire box kick, they're stupid easy to use, and I think that they are excellent secondary weapons. There's reasons that pros tend not to run these as much because it's easier for them to finish people off that are weak with the machine pistol, but both of these are top tier weapons, and I think that you are doing yourself a disservice by not trying them out, and I would recommend that you give them a go. Guys, that is all for this episode of In Depth. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out. If you want all the weapon stats for World War II in your pocket to go, then look no further than the Ultimate Utility app by Brass Monkey. It's available on iOS and Android. There are links in the description, or you can just search for it in the App Store.